Hi everyone, I'm Siddhant and I'm recording this demo day video for the 11th of October milestone. So, in this week, I have managed to close these five issues. So, I'll talk about every single one of them. So, let's start with the FTSDK update. So, I have updated the FTSDK, all of the dependencies, especially our diesel to version 2.2.4. This was done because of this vulnerability that was scanned by Dependabot. So this guy recommends that we should be at least using version 2.2.3, but we were using I think 2.1 or something. I don't remember. But yeah, so to mitigate this, I have updated FTSDK. I have also updated the dependency on FTSDK in .com in our auth.wasm and our subscription.wasm, and all of that is merged. I don't think it has been deployed yet, but it is available in the source. So this is one big change. uh, I also want to add that in the recent version of Diesel they have added some instrumentation things that we have disabled for our SQLite backend, but that is pretty interesting stuff that we should be looking at. So I also opened this issue. So basically, their instrumentation stuff is not available from their crate because if I can find my issue author, nice, and I can probably search by there is a one closed issue. Yep. So there is this DIN instrumentation thing that we want to have in our SQLite so that we can enable instrumentation, but they are not exporting this struct from their crate, and that will only be available in Diesel 2.3. So we either wait for that, or if we lose patience, we will have to copy stuff from their repo in the worst case. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so that is FTSDK update. We I have also added release workflow for this subscription and auth package. So now what we used to do for our .com deployment is we would clone this GitHub repository and build this Rust source code and get a WASM file. That is not true now. What happens is on every push, I have set it to manually run a workflow that will create a release. So we have made I think three releases of auth, and you can download the WASM file from here. And this is what we do in .com as well. So for deployment, we just simply come here and download the WASM files from there for auth and for subscription app. So that makes our .com deployment a little faster, and we are not also checking in source code from external repository, even if it is our own, but we are not doing that anymore. Okay, and we have some little improvement to the error messages in the ID. This is deployed. You can go ahead and see. Basically, when you run push file on, let's say if I go ahead and open Amithu's website, and let's say if I delete this migration, and I should be able to save and this says that I don't have access to edit his site, which is true. I don't have access to make changes on Amithu's website. I can only visit and see his source code and get some preview and whatnot. So this error message was added for in this issue, and this is also deployed as I showed you, which is nice. We also have these two things. So I will show these two right now. So when you go to 50 com and create a website, you now have a checkbox that is checked by default, which will make your site public. And you also should see that the input that asks for your subdomain is pre-filled. This is done to make the create site flow even faster. I just have to click a button. I don't have to think of a name, and this will do it for me. So let's go ahead and create this site. And I can open this in editor, or let's say that I copy the link to the editor and open an incognito tab. Since the checkmark to make this source public was checked by default, I should be able to open this site when even if I'm not logged in, which works perfectly. I am able to do that. And when I visit settings, I have sources visible to the world uh, by default. I can choose to uncheck the check mark, and this will not be the case when I do that. So this is all great. So these were the checkbox and the pre-populate the input field thing. From the list of open issues, this is the thing that I have not been able to do this week, which is not entirely true. So if talking about removing markdown and these two, so yeah, this is these two is also done. So a script to send bulk email and import LinkedIn email. So let's see this guy. So this is done, and I don't want to run the script, and because I have to set up a few things and then get the CSV file. I don't have it on my computer right now. So I'll not do that, but this guy exists and I have run the script, I have tested everything. I am able to import LinkedIn event data using this Python script. So this is done. This is awaiting review and merge. So I have not closed this issue. So this technically says that it is not done, but it is done from my side. So yeah, same goes for this script to send bulk email. This is actually pretty cool script using which Amit you can send emails to all the people who have registered on either Flipkart.com or have registered on the event on LinkedIn or Luma or whatever. So what it basically does, it takes a directory, and the directory should have these three files which it will consume, and optionally it also takes a tag. Now a tag, let's say, can be Luma if you have run the Luma import script, can be LinkedIn if you have run the LinkedIn script that I just showed you, or it can be nothing. In that case, it will send emails to every subscriber. And if you have this environment variable set, it will send emails to literally everyone inside of our SQLite database in the Boston user table. So I've done that. There is the help will tell you how to use it. I hope those who are using it will be able to understand how to use it from this help guide. You also have to set up app passwords by going to this URL. This is pretty easy. Or you can use your custom SMTP settings that is also available. Yeah, this is all this script works. There is also one other script that existed before this guy that I have renamed. This I created for Minu so that she is able to test her HTML templates. And I have actually modified that script to make this new one. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, I also worked this week on trying to remove markdown parsing from front end. You can read the details here. Even though when you read this description, it may look like that things are working, but things are really not working. We were not able to get any performance improvement, as you can see. So this is the original Fasten, and this is the Fasten after I have removed Markdown from parsing from front end. So one thing that you will notice is that the preview here, the code is indented. It is very, very small here. And sadly, I don't have many screenshots on my computer to show that the UI differences are there. So this change, we cannot merge it right away. This requires some more work. but I stopped doing it because there was basically no point of doing it because of the performance. We are not so if you see FCP, first content fulfillment, it has improved, but the overall performance is not has not improved by much. And if you go into detail, I have shared the whole report. I think I have to download it to be able to, yeah. Mm, yeah. So if you go through these detailed diagnostics, you will find that some metrics have improved by 0.01 seconds, and other metrics have we have regressions on those metrics, and they are also by 0.01 seconds. So it looks we have just shifted the works to improve the FCP, you can maybe call that, or most cases, if you take the average of runs, they are basically the same result with a difference of 0.01 seconds. So I don't call that a win, and that is because we are not really doing something very efficient. We have just shifted the work of parsing Markdown to the backend. So the response takes a little extra time to reach, but the browser is doing less work to render that content. So I don't consider that a win. That may be a win. I have also not tested it on .com, by the way. So we being able to create text notes on front end that have markdown content might not even work. I have not even tried that, and that probably does not work because we have removed markdown processing from the front end. So that will obviously not work. So what I'm talking about is we have a function in .com. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that may be in the UI, but let me see. So there is a function called DACTIC. DACTIC. I think it's in the UI. Yep. So this guy is a front-end function in editor was. Let me see if I can find it. Editor was. So this guy is giving you a markdown backtick string, and this is executed on the front end. So so this will not work after I have removed markdown processing from the front end. So me removing so this PR, I don't think we can go ahead with this guy because first we have some differences that we have to work on. We probably cannot just remove markdown processing from the front end, and we also even if we remove markdown processing, doing it the way that I did will not give you performance enhancement. So yeah, that was my work on this guy. These two we can close. So I have not done any work on collecting front end log. I don't think I will be doing anything with this guy. So we'll probably close this and the associated PR. I have not started working on this guy. This has been open for last week. I don't think we will be going to do this because of the reason that I'm going to tell you now. But yeah, this is a small one that I could not able to do. I will move this to the next milestone. So yeah, what is the next thing that because of which this cannot be done? So I and Amityu and Arpita have been talking about the zero point 0.5 release of Fast 10, and we have so many discussions and some work on spec that has been going on. So if you go to Fast and stack discussion and filter with zero point 0.5 tag, so we have all these ideas that we want to talk about. We have a spec that now I am going to be maintaining pretty much. So Matthew has written some of his mind's content here. I'll be going through it and rewriting it. So what I'm basically trying to say is that probably for the next milestone and for a few milestones that are coming, our goal is going to be working on the framework itself and not much on the platform, which is SwiftRI or the editor or the anything that is not FastM framework. So there is a lot that we are going to do here. So the focus that so anything that is not catastrophic, that is not trying to come in the way of Nandini's or Minu working for client or writing course contents will pretty much be not done. So which includes this ID embed editor thing. So we will probably push this thing to later. Anyways, I'll be able to talk more about the spec and the Fastn 0.5 version in the coming milestones. So keep an eye on that. Uh, Also, if you are watching this and you have some of the pain points that you want to share about the working with Fastn framework, please do that because now is the chance to ask for breaking changes that we will be able to deliver. So yeah, with that said, I think this video is already pretty long and how do I stop the recording? By clicking. So yeah, bye. Happy weekend, everyone, and happy Dasera.